tell us a little bit about TRG, which I love that name, TRG.
The Renick Group was started in September of 2004 after about 25 years in corporate America of human resources director, basically. So I had many roles in human resources, and so it was kind of a natural fit for me to go into the part of HR that I liked the best was the recruiting side and finding people jobs and interviewing. So it was kind of a natural to. So I first started this business just as what you would call a headhunter, a professional recruiter. I would find people jobs and the companies would pay me a fee.
Entrepreneurial spirit. If you had to define entrepreneurial spirit, how would you define it?
I'd say being willing to take a chance. It's a pretty big jump to leave corporate America and go out on your own, but it's very rewarding. So I would highly recommend it. I mean,
what's the most challenging aspect of being a sole proprietor or self-employed, as some might call it?
I guess the biggest thing is you got to learn that you can't do everything. You know, you think you can do your own accounting, you think you can do your own marketing. You got to learn that you got to either want to hire folks to help you to do that, or outsource it to other folks. So you think you can do it all when you get started in business, but you're probably going to need some professional help from other folks.
Right. Good to hear that.
Yeah.
In fact, that kind of leads into the other question I was going to ask: is how does an entrepreneur stay balanced? How do you keep from becoming a workaholic? How do you make sure you don't have your nose to the grindstone too much?
Well, I think you got to have a balance with family and work, and so it's really important to just have that, to try to have that balance. And you know, I've been real self-motivated. I get up early and get started, but by about 4 o'clock in the afternoons, I pretty much have called it a day. Good. I'm not saying that at 8 o'clock at night I won't go back and spend 30 more minutes working on something for the company, right, but I take a pretty darn good dinner break there. So.
There you go. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself working on weekends, or do you try to reserve those for...
Well, you got to work when the customer needs you to work. So yeah. I can't say that I never work on weekends, but I generally take Friday afternoons off to play golf. So if I have to work a few hours on Saturday, you know, I've kind of got my Coy time in before the weekend gets there. So
awesome. So if you were talking to, let's say, high school students today and speaking directly to them about being an entrepreneur, if they have that spark within them, what would you tell them to be doing now to get themselves ready for what it takes to be an entrepreneur?
That's a great question. I think getting as much education as you can. I was very fortunate to be able to get an associate degree before I went to work. And then after I went to work, I got a bachelor's degree and a master's degree that the companies I was working for helped me pay for. So get as much education as you can, but you got to be passionate about what you're doing. So if you've got that spark to be an entrepreneur, don't give up on it. Pursue it. Be willing to take the risk. You know, I would encourage young folks to consider being an entrepreneur as one of their alternatives. As there don't seem to be as many corporate jobs as there used to be.
Speaking of younger years, who inspired you when you were a teenager?
I guess my grandfather inspired me when I was a teenager and a young guy. You know, he was a pastor of a church, so he kind of gave me some of the ethics, and he was a good example to me when I was younger. And then I had a guy that I worked for 11 years, a little later in life, that's the best boss I ever had, and he was really, you know, if you rank him on traits of being a good business leader, he would have ranked like 9 out of 10 on most categories. So I got to work under somebody that I really mentored under for 11 years, and that really helped too.
Do you have any inspirational quotes that you like to think about sometimes from time to time to pick yourself up, or?
I get up every morning and say it's going to be a great day. I mean, you know, I think a lot of our life and a lot of our luck is not luck. It's that you got the right attitude. You know, people like to be around other people that have a good attitude and are optimistic. And, if you get that day off to the right start, you can do anything you want to. You just got to set your targets and get busy and get there.
Wonderful philosophy. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.